Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 25th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We got the Pacific Ocean dead center. Check out our low pressure still spinning off the coastline. It's brought some persistent rainfall across some of the region here. We'll take a look at that in some detail. We'll see when this low is going to move, where it's going to go, and what is to come after that. So let's dive into some details here. First things first, Doppler radar. You can see the sun rising across the Pacific Northwest, but across some of the central sound, some pretty persistent rainfall. Again, like I mentioned, you can see precipitation riding up across some of California up into Oregon, and some of the higher terrain of eastern Oregon and Washington still getting some rain shower activity and some snow for the higher terrain still. But we'll take a look at what's coming here as we go through the day today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for your Thanksgiving Day travel. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast as we go through the video here this morning. So if you want a nice Christmas gift, this weather station really can't be beat for the price. And I've selected this one off. I think this is Northeast Washington. This might be even into Idaho here, this random station. Fossil Creek Kennels. Right there at freezing there, it builds its own forecast for you. And if I go ahead and click on this for more information, you can see how you've got the temperature and it graphs all this stuff for you, and the wind and the UV index, and it tells you if it's raining at your house or not. So again, highly recommended. And I think you get 20% off if you go down there and click right now. So check that out. Now, taking a look at the storm reports, I didn't see anything across Washington, Oregon, or Idaho. There are some snowfall reports there across some of the higher terrain of Montana there. So you can see a storm total of 12 inches over the last 48 hours, 4 inches of that falling during the day. So these storm reports are quite handy. I'll be taking a look at this more often. Now, looking at where we are right about now, and you can see the European with that weak low off the coastline, but we're on the chilly side of that low. That's why the temperatures are kind of chilly out there right now, and you've got some precipitation flying across some of western Oregon, western Washington, some snow still going on for the higher terrain. But as we scroll on in through the day today, you notice we start to relax some of that precipitation across Washington first. Still going on as we go through Tuesday morning here across Oregon, some of Idaho and Montana, but that is coming to an end as we go through the day tomorrow as well. Still maybe some residual snow showers across Idaho and Montana, but should not amount to too much. Maybe a few showers across the Washington Cascades on the lighter side. Now here we go through Wednesday afternoon. You can see the break we are getting as we go towards Thanksgiving. A little bit of an Arctic front slides down east of the Rockies, so it might bring some snow showers to the Rockies. Again, not too big of a deal there. And then we go through Thanksgiving on the day. Largely dry here across much of the Pacific Northwest. Still some precipitation ongoing across portions of British Columbia. And again, on the lighter side. If we scroll out a bit more, we start to get a stronger system into British Columbia here. We'll watch over the next couple of days to see how far this is going to go south. But right now, it doesn't look like getting down into Washington, Oregon, or Idaho at this point. Now, looking at 6-hour snow, 10-to-1 ratio. I'm going to put this into motion, and you can see that snow largely coming to an end as we go on in through today. Still going on for Oregon, though. I got to point that out. Idaho, Montana, one more bit of that shot there from the snow as we go through tomorrow night. But then, as you can see, as we go through the day Wednesday, pretty good travel day here for much of the Pacific Northwest. The plows will be out and you'll have a chance to clear the roads for you. So if you can put off travel towards Wednesday, that would be best. And then you can see that weak Arctic front kind of sliding down across portions of Alberta, potentially impacting some of the Rocky Mountains there across Montana. Now, this is the last of our Northeast Pacific Ocean vortex, and you can see the trough still hanging off the coastline. That's what's bringing our precipitation right now. But as we slide through the day tomorrow, you can see this finally kicking off to the east, and then we get our Thanksgiving Day break as we go through this upcoming week, and then we'll continue to monitor day by day to see what is upcoming. As you guys know, things can change quite rapidly in the weather models. You can turn on a dime, in fact. But let's look at this week. Spokane National Weather Service, always with its good graphics. You can see Monday, Tuesday, chance light snow, southeast Washington, north Idaho. And then you see Wednesday here kind of wrapping things up before we get some mainly dry conditions. Again, Thursday through Friday. Again, some of the higher terrain, maybe some light showers. This is Missoula. They're not too worried about it. And we'll take a look at some of the wind speeds here across the region. Not too bad. We're not looking at any big winds here across the area. So nice travel conditions, really, all things considered, for Tuesday and Wednesday to get in place for your Thanksgiving Day feast. Now, taking a look at the European artificial intelligence, we got a wider view. There's Alaska to the top. We got Washington, Oregon here. You can see all the lower 48 states. There's Greenland to the upper right. There's Canada up here in Hudson Bay. Put this into motion. There's the last of our deep trough moving off, and then we start to build that ridging in. There's that weak Arctic front here as we go through the later week, kind of hanging out there across portions of Alberta. But you can see the ridging hangs with the Pacific Northwest as we go on in through the weekend and on in towards next week, continues to hang out, and we watch to see if any system wants to try to break down this ridge in the meantime, and it's a holding on pretty steadfast here. And then you can see as we go through the extended forecast, this deep trough across the Gulf of Alaska continues this ridge across a lot of the west coast of North America. So we'll be watching this, and again, this is going to be changing pretty rapidly, I assume, especially as we get off towards the later portion of that forecast. And if we look at the GFS, this is last night's versus yesterday afternoon's run, the 06Z versus the 0Z. This is the global forecast system, the USA model. Put that into motion. You can see not many surprises here in the short term. That weak Arctic front slides down as we go on through the end of the week. And then we start to build that ridging. Pretty good agreement there between the model runs. I do want to show you something there towards the end of the run here. So if you notice at the very end of the run, right there on the 0Z run last night, kind of showed this little polar lobe reaching out and trying to grab the Pacific Northwest here. That would bring some interesting weather, even potentially into the lowlands. But you can see how quickly the models flipped and flopped here on the 06Z run. So that's what we're looking at in the extended forecast. We're going to continue to watch for this, and then we'll try to get some consistency in the models as we get further out there. But that was really just kind of a novelty, just for entertainment purposes only, as the newest model took that away. And I think the 12Z is running right now, actually. We probably should take a look at that. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to shut that down, and we're going to go to the 12Z here, and we're going to close that. And we'll take a look at the 12Z because we're out 264 hours. Let me update that, make sure we have all the data. Put this into motion, and you can see we've got the ridging starting to come in here. There's that weak Arctic front moving by, but we do get some dry weather here. Looks like through the weekend, that ridging hanging with us. Gulf of Alaska trough tries to get going a little bit there, does not make much headway. That ridging wants to hang out across the Pacific Northwest as we go all the way on through next week. Hopefully this is not a huge fog maker here. That's what can sometimes happen when you go on in towards the later fall months and winter. You get these ridges, and they can start to bring some stagnant conditions, and you can really get some fog built up into the valley area. So we'll see how that trends. Now, looking at the 6 to 10 day, you can see that warmth here across some of the west coast. Take that with a grain of salt there, but that signal is starting to show. 6 to 10 day below normal signal here for a lot of the west coast. Still a little clip there, but we'll see how they update that today. And there's the 8 to 14 day above average a lot of the west, and kind of this mixed bag across Pacific Northwest. So anyway, we'll continue to watch to see what is coming out there through the extended forecast. Hope you guys are having a good day, and the Thanksgiving Day travels tomorrow and Wednesday look pretty darn right good here across the region. So anyway, let's do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.